Okay, so I've only got about 1,000 hands, maybe 1,200 in the counting analysis, the card counting analysis, um, and I must confess I'm sort of not in the least surprised by the fact that there doesn't seem to be any benefit to card counting, and I'd sort of like to just stop wasting time with it, but I feel obligated to all of those people who take it so seriously. I mean, almost religiously. So I think I'm going to do a couple of more sessions, dealing, unfortunately, with the fact that the Wizards sim is definitely not doing its job as far as Turbo is concerned. And I just tried to send a message to him about that and got caught up with his capture program. So that didn't work out very well. Anyway, zero, dealer, and I lost 25. So the next bet is 50 and the next count is zero. I tried to figure out a way to speed things up by just, recording it without talking. And then, but anyway, that didn't work out. So I guess we all just have to learn to be patient. Okay, so the next bet is 200 and the count remains zero. 1, 2, third. Oh dear. So now we're dropping to 25, still zero. Yeah, wouldn't you know it? So we're on 3-2 now. Still zero. 5-4 is the next one. Oh no! Jeepers creepers. And this is the sim that I'm supposed to be manipulating, according to some nitwits. So that's 9-8, still zero. Damnation. Hey. Seventeen, 8, still zero. We're dropping. Still zero. That's odd. Still in the drop zone. Oh boy, we can't do anything, can we? Oh my god, we won one. Okay, so 17-8 is the bet. Ace-6 against a 2. I can never remember. I don't know why. I used to be so good with these. So 17-8, and I've got to do a double down here. Boy, oh boy. All right, well, that worked out. So that's a yes. 17-8. So we're at 1-2. But I don't think I'm satisfied with that for the amount of risk that we suffered. So I'm going to make it 3, 4. And this is entirely up to you. Okay. 7, 8, second, and now we're at -1. Oh, bloody hell. 15, 6, still at -1. 15, 16 is what I meant to say. Sorry. That was clever. Okay. 15, 16, and we got that one. So I did that simply because the amount of money that we had in play, getting barely 150, is just not good enough. And the cards don't know. I mean, nothing is affected except you by the amount of money that's on the table, and to a lesser extent the pit critters and the dealer and all the rest of it, because they might, they're so paranoid about blackjack. But God, this is like treacle, isn't it? Anyway, we're back to 25, and it's a 0 count. Oy, oy, oy. That's a wash, so it's 50 and -1. All right, deal 100 and -1. This is actually sort of an interesting exercise because I really wanted to put this to rest. So I guess I'm going to have to do a few of these. That was clever. Well, I needed it too, didn't I? And that's a repeat. No! Dear, oh dear. So that's 200. Still on -1. Well, that was a lot of work for bugger all, wasn't it? And we're still on -1, and the bet is still 200. Oh, bugger. Shit. Wrong bet. Alright, I got away with something there. Okay. So it's got to be 3, 4 is the next bet. The third, 3, 4, third. Blimey, O'Reilly. 7, 4, drop. So 7, 4 it is now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excuse me. Oh my God, look at that. Uh, 11.8. Second. Boy, oh boy, we're getting up there again. This is a nasty one. So we're betting 2,000 here, still -1. 1920. A good time for a natural, wouldn't it? I've been expecting the worst, I tell you, from this damn thing. Okay. Just going to do a quick count up to see what that was about. That last little burst there. Okay, so far in this session we are +9 and -17. So we won 9 and lost 17, and we have a 612 profit. Not a lot, I grant you that. But we've been getting our butts kicked and we are ahead. And that's the name of the strategy. Oh, and it was 22 for me again. Okay. -2 still. Okay, so let's play. So that's just a repeat at -2. God, it is a slow process, but I feel it's worth it. So 50, 100, -2. Okay. Repeat that one. -2. Excuse me. Okay. 1, 2, -2. That'll be handy. Uh-oh. Okay. Uh, 5, 6. -2. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, come on. So that's 11.6 dropping -2. Naturally. Still -2. I think we're looking at 12.6, still in the drop zone, still -2. What's going on here? Because running count is -8. Did I say 11.6? I think I did. Okay, blackjack. 600, still -2. 11.6. Okay. 5, 6. That's -1. All right, so we came out of that one at live. Well, I'm finding it kind of nice to stop and just do a little count. Because the whole point is, we know that in the long run we're going to lose more bets than we win. So we must, must bet in such a way that our average win exceeds the value of our average win, exceeds the value of our average loss by a percentage which just annihilates the house advantage. So we're out of that. Back to 25. Still -1. So I mean, we're looking at a nasty shoe, basically. Jesus Christ. Okay, so that's 51, and the count is 0. Excuse me, so sorry. That's a wash and a double for the tie, and it's -1. It's a double for the push, I beg your pardon. Why am I laughing? Oh dear. All right, what did I say? It's 51, so now it's the next bet is 400, and the count is +1. All right. Okay, so at this point, this is barely believable. We have had 15 winning bets, and I count doubles in there. I don't count naturals as 1.5s, but I do count doubles either way, -2 or +2. So we've had 15 wins and 29 losses. We're not very much ahead. We're only 900 ahead. But damn, we're getting beaten up. I mean, I can't imagine anything much worse than this. But anyway, we're at 25 as the bet, and we're at +1. I made that one better, didn't I? Okay, player. Next bet is 50, still +1. All right. Next bet is 100, 0. Double down. Okay, so that's a yes. And that's the end of that one. 25 and still on +1. Back to the minimum. 50, 0. Repeat, 0. Double down. That wasn't going to work, was it? No. So that's 1, 2, plus 1. That was pretty canny, wasn't it? All right, so a little bit further ahead now. Okay, so now back to 25, still plus 1. Yeah, all I can say to folks is just put your turbo on. Next bet is 50 plus 2. Double down. Okay, so that was a yes. And back to the minimum. Because that clears out there, so we're plus 2 again. Okay, so that's player. 50 is the next bet, and now we got plus 3. Wowzer. Plus, so, sorry, plus 5. Oh, don't know what that is yet. The next bet is 75. That's probably a winner. Next bet is 100, down to plus 3. That's a wash. 200 for the push. And the count is 0. That's a dealer. We want to repeat that one, and we're still on 0. Okay, so that's all right. So we underline that. 25 minimum, still 0. Please don't mind me talking to myself. $50 is the next bet. Count is -1. It's so much easier doing this way rather than trying to track it as I go along, you know. So that's dealer. So next bet is 200 and the count is 0. Bust by 1. All right. Dealer. So that's 3, 2, and 25. So they said we're in the drop zone now. All right. And still a 0 count. And that's a wash. Still 0. Oh, well, that's great, isn't it? Well, it got better. Okay, so that's a yes. Yeah, the great thing about this Movavi screen recorder is that it allows me to stop, to pause. So at least then I can look at what the numbers are. And right now we've got, on this last 21, we were 13 wins and 10 losses. So now we're on 39 losses and 28 wins. So we're still getting our asses kicked. Anyway, the next bet is 3-2. All right, we'll double that one. Oh dear. That didn't go so well, did it? So that's 7, 8. And we're still on 0. It's 7-8 because I doubled that time, so that the bet was 4. So doubling that pushes it to 8. Big mistake that progressive bettors make quite often is that they'll lose a double down and then they won't adjust for that. And that is a very big mistake. What did I say? Did I say 7-8 just now? I think I did. Yeah, 7-8. Turnaround bet. All right, so that's our money in the bank. So we drop back to the minimum, and the count is still 0. Minimum. That was clever. 50 and still 0. Yeah, this is tedious, but I think worth it. So that was a player and 50 again and still 0. $100 and still 0. Dear oh, dear oh. Right. Next one is 300, and we're still no true count. 2-3. Uh-oh. Look at that. Can you believe it? So we're on 5-3 and drop 0. Oh dear. I think we'll call it 6-3 now because I'm cross, but we're still in the drop zone. The true count is still bugger all. I said 6-3, didn't I? I can't believe it. Yes, I can. 9-6, still 0. Ah. 15-16, still 0. Damn it. We are being made to work in this one, aren't we? Oh boy. Oh, we really needed that. Thank you, Wizard. 15-16, that's very nice. That's put us ahead nicely. So we back to the minimum, and we're still 0. Yeah, I mean, if anybody's watching this and saying that this is a twisted or fixed, rigged, whatever sim, then they clearly are completely brainless. That's a blackjack. So the next bet will be 50 and the doodad. Oh, I forgot the stand. No, it's -1. Let me get this right. Yeah, the count is not coming out of this at all well. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if the count wasn't an invention of the casino business, you know. That's 100, still 0. You tried. It's a repeat, still 0. All right. 200, still 0. Ah! So we're now on 3, 4, and the count is -1. That wasn't going to work, was it? So it's 7, 4, count still -1, and drop zone. Dealers 22. Did I say 7, 4? I think I did. Count is 0. Okay, so that becomes 7, 8. The rule here is quite simply you don't double after a push unless you can go from a mid-recovery bet, which was the 7, 4, turning that into a turnaround bet, which is 7, 8. It would be nice to get this. I like it when these happen because there's a little bonus built in, you know. Oh dear. Well, that didn't work out. I'm going to do that count again at this point. Okay, so I do the sort of the adding up in blocks of 21, which seems kind of appropriate. So right now we've dealt 84 rounds, and we are standing at +15, +28, +36, and -29, 39, 49, 54. So the house advantage here is absolutely deadly. Absolutely bloody deadly. So 7, 8. Anyway, the next bet is oh god, these notebooks. Is 15, 16, and the true count remains 0. So it'd be nice to get this. It's a turnaround. They're always good to get. Oh boy. Okay, we had another lucky one there then, didn't we? They're just pushing us ahead rather a lot. Oh, I know there are people out there who are saying, yeah, it's me. Damn it. Okay, so we're back to the minimum. And the count is 0. Now to 50 and -1. I think I'm getting better at this. It's terribly slow, I know. But okay, that's a repeat. -1. Okay. Minimum -2. Very clever. 50 -2. Uh, 100 -2. Oh dear, I've done a column which is, oh, never mind. All right. Well, since we got the increase there, we go back to the min. Remember, we're not greedy. We're just uh, oh, 25 -2 player, 50 -1. Well, that was a double down one, the last one. Not sure about that. $75, 0. $100 -1. Plus max -2. Okay, the plus max thing is up to you. I don't like to go on a winning streak. I mean, when a new series starts, or skirmish starts with a win and then a win and then a win and a win, I don't like to go above 5 units, just because I think it's perhaps a little greedy. But that's up to you. I think we'll stand on that. Okay, so that's our blackjack. So we repeat that, and we're on -2 still. You got to remember that the true count is the running count divided by the number of decks. So that is right. So we'll just repeat that one. Alrighty. Now we'll chase it. So the bet is 125 again, and it's -3. Okay, now we're on 3-4, and it's -2. All right. 7-4, drop, -3. $400 it is for the 7-4, and it's -2. Yeah, close. Oh, all right. All right, so we got that one, and now it's 400 repeated because we're on 3-4, still -2. Repeated. All right, so we came out of that one nicely. Back to the min and -2. Boy, they do drag on with this non-turbo thing going on. $50 and -1. That's a double down. Okay. 75 and -1. Oh, I like the way this is going. 100 and -1. We're going up. Damn. Well, I wasn't expecting that to be a push. 200 and -1. Okay, so that's going to be 2, 3 and -2. Alexa, stop. 5, 6 is the turnaround. Still -1. No. All right. This is the turnaround bit. Just enough. Drop to the minimum. Still -1. Yeah, for those of you who say, well, you couldn't do that at the same table, if at any point the table rules prevent you from following the strategy, just go somewhere else. It's that simple. I play through here simply because it doesn't make any difference to the numbers. And, it's just for ease and convenience. But this mythical thing that people imagine where they say, well, this shoe is a discrete set of circumstances, and so if I stick with it, it'll get better. It's all nonsense. It's just the ebb and the flow, the back and the forth, the ping and the pong, the zig and the zag. That's all that matters. The rest of it is smoke, mirrors, fireworks, flash bang, window dressing, whatever else you want to call it. Anyway, well, it's funny, this time it turned a doodle over. Okay, so we go to 50 and we're still on -1. Coming to the end here. Oh, you rat. 100 and on -2. Well, that's a double. Well done. Well, that was nice timing, actually. So we're done with this. And I'm just going to add up the state of the nation, so to speak. Okay, so ahead of going to Excel for the transcript so that we can check how counting turned out, 55 wins, 62 losses. So that's -7 over 117. So that's about a house edge of about -5%. I mean, -5% to us, to the players, maybe slightly less than that. But here we've got a win of 6,537.50. Let's not forget the 50. And again, it's because even though we lost more bets than we won, we kicked ass because our average winning bet was greater than the value of our average losing bet by a percentage that was far greater than 5%. And you'll see that if you stick with me to the Excel transcript at the end. But the point is that anybody who says that these games can't be beaten with progressive betting is either ill-informed, stupid, or working for the house. Is that right? Well, there may be another combo in there. Ignorant, unconcerned, suicidal, masochistic. Did I mention stupid? Well, anyway, up to you. But there we are. Sorry it was so slow once again. But honestly, I think it's worth your time. Up to you, really, isn't it? Yeah, this is another one of those carefully executed counting exercises where I've been as generous as I possibly can be, meaning that I can only write down the count, which is in column G here, as it appears on the Wizard of Oz sim. And if any of the religiously fervent card counting supporters out there think that there's something wrong with the Wizard of Oz blackjack sim in terms of card counting, then I do wish that they'd get off their asses and instead of complaining about it, provide some proof that there's inaccuracy there, because I have played through it many times, watching for the count, doing my own count, because it really isn't difficult in spite of what some people behave. It's really very, very easy, or some people pretend is what I meant to say. It's funny, you get to a certain age and the word's in your head and a different word comes out your mouth. What's that called? Is that called dementia? Dementia? Yeah, that sounds familiar. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, this is another of those sessions where we won fewer bets than we lost. Not by many, as it turned out in the end, because it certainly picked up. But we had this, if you looked at this red thing here, it was absolute hell going down to here. And then we got a boost. And then we went into worse hell, down to minus 17. And then we started to see some serious offsets, the pendulum swinging back, whatever you want to call it. And the main thing is that throughout all of this, card counting, again, didn't come out of it very well. I mean, let's go over there. And we've got a win of 1,725 from negative TCs, true counts. Neutral TCs gave us a profit of 4,000. Plus 1 was 525, plus 2 was 125, plus 3 was 50, plus 4, there weren't any, and then plus 5 was 113. And so the final win was 6,538, and this remains at 100% because I've covered every single round, every single outcome with the count. So let's see, down on the right-hand side here, these are just brief outtakes just to show that in this little segment here, we lost 10 bets and won only 4, but we came out ahead 313. And according to the house edge for that sample, which was 40%, we should have lost 2,500, but instead we had the bad manners to win 313. And then here, similar story, 27% house edge, minus 6 to plus 3. We made 300, should have lost 1,091. Next one down, minus 7 to plus 5. We won 138, not very much, huh? Should have lost 440. And we go down again, minus 17 plus 9. Should have lost 3,200. Instead, we won 3,813. So, You know, it's, I keep almost slipping into saying a hard sell, but I'm not selling anything. I am merely trying to get the word out that there is no sense in playing any of these casino table games unless you've got a lot of money behind you, a lot of confidence, you stay cool, calm, and sober, you believe in the mathematics and not the mythematics of these games of chance, you follow opportunities, you protect yourself in potential downturns, knowing, as we all do, that you can't predict anything. You can't sort of say stupid things like Vegas Matt loves to say all the time. And I'm sure he's just doing it for, he's mugging for the peanut gallery, as they used to call it. When he says, well, banker just won 5 times, so obviously it's going to be another banker. Or player just won 7 times in a row, so bankers do. Nothing is due, ever. Except the only constant is that every single bet faces the same negative expectation, so that you have a slightly smaller chance of winning than you do of losing. And you have to maintain that understanding and that acceptance for every single bet you put down. Nothing is due, nothing is predictable, nothing is bound to happen. None of those nonsense things. And I think these are all things that the casinos deliberately promote. And that's why they encourage these clowns who come on with their gambling channels and lose a shitload of money, but get it back from Google and maybe even get it back from the casino, for all I know. I mean, maybe once the camera's turned off or the phone is put away or whatever it is they're using, they get a quick a rebate on their losses. I have no idea. I do find it extraordinary that people will throw so much money away. I mean, $1,000 a day, day after day, for a full year, to the tune of sort of 300,000. Okay, so it's 800 a day. That's in the case of Vegas Matt. And I admire those guys for admitting their losses, because a lot of these people don't. They don't come clean about their losses, and Matt and his crew do. So, plaudits for them. But still, they're still sort of promoting something which is basically bad for all concerned, except the people who own the casinos and have shares in the casino companies. But there we are. I'm just a one-man band. I can't do anything about that stuff. But just remember, the way it works here is that the horizontal green lines mean a turnaround. And over here, you've got just a quick, a few samples of particularly stressful situations where, this was the worst of the bunch. I think, this one is, okay, that's left over from a prior, because all of these, everything here is, they're all templates, it's how it has to be done. This stuff is all, obviously, this is new in each sample, each data set, each set of outcomes, but the basics remain and just have to be adjusted according to the number of bets. Like here it was, the last line is 119, so that means 112 bets, because we've got 7 non-betting lines here. And that's the way that works. Anyway, the win-loss patterns, same as always. Ping pong, ping pong, ping pong, but sometimes the pong lasts longer than the ping, which I suppose makes sense, because pongs are not pleasant. Pings are okay, pongs we're not so keen on. So there it is. We did get some nice little pings here, though, didn't we? Down towards the end, but we still ended up with more losses than wins, and that's what I like to see. I really do, because then I get a chance to demonstrate the way that pattern betting works against negative expectation. So it's always a bit disappointing for me when it turns out in a given sample that there's positive expectation, because any fool, as the clowns on YouTube with their gambling channels show us time and again, any fool can win when they win more bets than they lose. It's the clever clogs, people like me, who manage to win in spite of losing more bets than they win. So that's that, and I'll catch you next time.